Yeah guys, I've got a sparkle which I'm going to use to ignite the fire for easily the most fun I've had recording a series in a while, but unfortunately this episode is going to be the last one, at least of this current session, which means I'm once again joined by none other than Demigod for another episode of the Skylanders Imaginators Soul Link.
I am the funny man.
Yes, we've got the internet funny man himself.
Well, I'm the second internet funny man. The first internet funny man is Alpharad, and I can't.
You can't take his title away from him, and you've got to be specific, you know. Not Pacific, because specific and Pacific are two completely different things, and it took me way too long to learn that. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, for real. Whenever I wanted to say something specific, I said Pacific instead, and I confused everyone around me because they genuinely thought I was talking about the ocean. So you know, it kind of goes two ways. First of all, I should have learned the difference between specific and Pacific much sooner, and second of all, people shouldn't be stupid enough to not realize what I'm talking about in a conversation where. Whilst you're having a conversation, the context behind it makes it kind of obvious what you're going on about. So, you know, with the context behind the conversations, they should have realised what I was going on about, and shouldn't have been so dumb as to think I was actually going on about the damn ocean.
Oh.
I shouldn't call it the damn ocean, actually. It's very important, you know, we kind of need it. It is 70% of the planet after all, or is it 80%?
It's one of the two.
It's a big number, and all I know is that it's just about the only part of the planet that Disney doesn't own.
That's funny. That's a haha funny joke. Did I not kill that guy? I actually didn't kill that guy. Robo!
Well, how about you kill him then? That sounds like a plan.
Robo, losing your touch, I see.
Imagine if they pulled off, like, Last of Us 2 in this game, and they made us play through a perspective of the enemies, and then we felt so sorry for killing them all. Imagine how groundbreaking of a Skylanders game that would be. Just Skylanders in the perspective of an enemy.
How would you even play the game?
I have no clue, but I think it would be awesome. Activision, you know, my email's in the channel about page, you know, you go on ahead and you hook me up. I'll be happy to fill you in on more details.
That actually brings me to an idea that I wanted to touch on at some point, if not on YouTube, just with someone. Why is it always that the fans of the series can do better storylines and have better ideas than the actual writers?
Because here's the thing, the writers, you know, they're being paid for it, and what they care about is for paycheck, whereas the fans, you know, they have passion for it, you know, they know the media better than what the people writing it do. They just, you know, they've grown up with these characters, they're passionate about these characters, and they know what directions they take, because they understand them, mostly because, in a lot of these cases, media that you love it because you relate to the characters, and when you relate to the characters and you can put yourself in their shoes, it makes you just understand them even more. That's really why I create good stories with Skylanders and things like that.
Because the biggest thing about it for me, especially the big one, if I had to pick one specific series to talk about in a video about this sort of thing, it would be The Flash.
Oh,
because
yeah.
Not only is the fan base of The Flash, I hate every single one of them. Because I hate everyone in the Flash fan base because, or okay, not everyone. I hate most of them. Because I know there's a small subset of people who agree with me. Everyone, it's a general. I say everyone as a generalization, begged and pleaded that we stop having speedster villains after the 3rd season, but every season that hasn't had a speedster as their main villain has sucked a lot of ass.
It's like I say, the fans know better, and it's about time that these big corporate companies learned that.
Yeah, and you know what else? Now all of those people that were tired of speedster villains want to see us do Godspeed and Red Death as the main villain of the next season. It's like, y'all are a bunch of fucking hypocrites! But yeah, The Flash is just the biggest one for me of like, I could write this better than the writers write this. Because, okay, so the way that I would take it is, I'm gonna spout off a bunch of nonsense right now. This is your episode, and I apologize for spouting off a bunch of nonsense. You can feel free to ignore me or cut this part out of the video. Especially because we're about to do the Wrecking Ball thing, on my screen at least. So, in The Flash's 6th season, since it got finished, it got cut off early because of COVID.
Oh yeah,
because
I've
of the
heard
Rona.
reports.
And what they decided to do was they decided to let the main villain of this season win. But what I've heard is that they're going to just completely invalidate that ending in Season 7 and just air the last 3 episodes of Season 6. And I'm like, no! Don't do that! There's a very valid reason for you to not do exactly what you're about to do. And it's because it could present an interesting dynamic and have her as a background character in the entire 7th season. So what you should do, writers, I'm going to make an official video on this later, I'm just spitballing right now. You guys really like doing 2 main villains, one for your first half of your season, one for your second. Do Godspeed for the first half of the season. Reintroduce August Hart as a completely new character, and just do the exact thing that DC Rebirth did. Give a bunch of people in Central City powers, make your main villain a speedster again, if for no other reason than to test the waters. Because every season since you've stopped doing speedster villains has sucked a lot of ass. Season 6 was okay, it was fine, but that's because you got a new showrunner. Do Godspeed for Season 7. There we go. Do Godspeed for Season 7. And just do DC Rebirth. Just do that exact storyline. And for the love of God, kill Iris West Allen. Kill her! No one likes her.
That's completely devoid of mercy altogether.
I stand by what I said.
You sound so passionate about this character being killed off.
I hate her. She was good in the first 2 seasons. But ever since then, they made her the leader of Team Flash in Season 4 for no reason. And ever since then, she's done literally nothing beneficial to the series.
Oh god, that reminds me of Walking Dead. There are so many characters in that show where I'm just like, kill them off! Just kill them! Come on, kill them already!
So just
and you know, those are the characters which survive the longest. And the writers know we hate them, which is why they leave them in the show. It's so infuriating.
So kill Iris West Allen and replace her with Patty Spivak.
Well, now that you've asked to kill her off, you know it's not going to happen because you've asked for it. Like I've said, you know, they're going to do the complete opposite of what you're asking for, just because then, you know, they frustrate the audience, and at the end of the day, a frustrated audience is getting a reaction, and when you react to something, it makes something more memorable, which at the end of the day, memorability is practically...
I was going to interrupt this conversation because I found a glitch where I landed on the outside of the ship, but anyway...
That's pretty fucking cool, but yeah.
So,
case in point, it creates publicity for the TV show if it's memorable, good or bad. It doesn't matter. It still creates publicity, and it gets people watching if it's memorable. So you're here bellyaching about the Flash, saying how bad it is. You're practically helping the show because now a lot of people are going to want to watch the show just to see how bad it actually is.
And again, I say the first 2 seasons are the best. Season 3's not bad. Season 4 and 5 are borderline unwatchable, and then Season 6 is okay. I'm not gonna switch to Robo here because I'm just gonna switch to Tidepool as soon as I leave this room. That's exactly the same thing that I did with Flare Wolf. I'm not cheating. It's just there's no battle segments here that I'm gonna take any damage from. So anyway, so step 1, kill Iris West Allen. Step 2, do Godspeed and just do the DC Rebirth storyline. And then step 3, because I know you love splitting up your season-long main villain so that there's half for the first half, or one for the first half and one for the second half, and there's nothing inherently wrong with that. What you should do, though, is you should make your second main villain, you should convince Stephen Amell to come back to the Arrowverse for like 11 episodes, and you should do Red Death. In the comics, Red Death is a combination of the Flash and Batman, but for the show, for the Flash, it would be thematically better if it was Oliver Queen. Or at least a version of Oliver Queen that has this corrupted Speed Force that the Spectre in Crisis on Infinite Earths possessed or killed the Speed Force. It would be better thematically because Barry and Oliver have an established relationship. They're friends. And it would be better. It would make sense. And let's be real, when you do a villain for 20 plus episodes, and it's the same villain, it's just worse anyway. You learn that mistake in Season 5 with Cicada. That's my rant over. Just give us Red Death, give us Godspeed, and for the love of God, Flash fanbase, stop being hypocrites. Stop saying that you're gonna want Godspeed if you don't want us to do a main speedster villain, because good God.
Okay, so I have two things.
So
First
good.
of all, is to do with superheroes and COVID-19, because you first of all touched on that. Because that reminds me, with the time skip in Endgame, the lucky bastards in that universe got to completely skip over COVID-19.
Oh shit, yeah.
They just skipped the year 2020. As far as I'm concerned, 2020 in the MCU doesn't exist.
Well, we don't know when the Black Widow movie takes place.
It takes place after Civil War.
Oh, then yeah, they got to skip COVID altogether. I have the legendary Mark of the Beast. I have 666 health right now.
Oh, nice. And the second thing is, didn't you say one of the villains' name was Red Death?
Red Death, yes.
Okay, so that brings up a really funny point about how to train a dragon. The main dragon, you'd know this because it's from the first one, for a really big dragon that controls the minds of all the other dragons, its name is so inconsistent. In the books the film is based on, it's called the Green Death. Then in the games, it's called the Green Death, the games that are canon, I mean. But then in the TV show, there's also canon, they call it the Red Death. Make your bloody mind up, is it the Green Death or is it the Red Death? I mean, personally, I call it the Green Death because I've played the games which are canon, but Red Death also kind of works.
I don't know, maybe it's just because, like, Red Death is just a cooler name than Green Death, but... Anyway.
It also reminds me of how many deaths there are in How to Train a Dragon, and by that I mean for dragon species names, because you've got Death Gnashers, Death Grippers, Red Death, Purple Death, Elder Death, Elder Wing, Grand Elder, you know, there's just so many dragons with similar names, it's unreal.
Oh, gotta love that.
Of course I love it, it's fucking dragons, I'm gonna love it regardless.
Yeah. Haha, funny dragons. I almost just lost Aurora, by the way.
I'm not actually that mad because, you know, Bad Juju is not the best villain in this game.
I did say almost. I barely survived.
Hey, barely counts, does it not?
Yeah. I got, I was attacking the Squawkanaw, he was beginning his dash attack, and I avoided, but I got hit by, like, the side of him.
This will make much more sense when I
page,
actually get the context behind this clip.
You'll see it, you'll see. I'll send it to you, and you'll be able to see how it happens.
Yep. Also, I use the word exactly, which of course can be put into egg exactly. And that reminds me of my friend who basically eats anything. He is not a fussy eater, he practically loves all food. The one food on this planet he doesn't like, and I honestly can't believe him for it. Because out of all of the food he doesn't like, it's eggs. How can you dislike eggs? They are one of the most versatile foods on the planet. You can boil them, you can scramble them, you can fry them. Of all the foods. So what's your stance on eggs? Do you love them? Do you hate them?
I like eggs. Eggs
Good.
are...
That's a good
and
answer.
the thing is, eggs are essential for, like, desserts and stuff, too.
Oh, he's fine when
pastry.
they're with things, he just doesn't like them on their own.
Bro.
Which reminds me of my favourite breakfast, bacon and egg cob. I want to go to sleep just so I can wake up and make myself a bacon and egg cob for breakfast right now.
Well, hey, after dinner, you got dinner after this, and then you can go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly, perfect. Then I get to look forward to waking up and having my bacon and egg cob.
Hey, that's good for you. I still gotta be up for another, what frickin' time is it right now? 2 p.m. I still gotta be up for another 8 hours.
Oh, that's time zones for you. Boy, they are inconvenient, especially when you're trying to stream of all things.
I don't see a battle going on my screen. I don't have to do it, right? I don't see it. I don't see it.
No, for all this, we're doing him for the fun of it.
I'm gonna lose Tidepool right now, aren't I?
How can you possibly lose Tidepool? It's Tidepool.
This battle gong is hard.
You're right. It definitely has. It's definitely in an enclosed space. That's the main problem with it. The fact that you can barely move.
Maybe I'm just thinking bad about it because of Grave Clobber, and I've never been able to successfully do this one with the Grave Clobber in all of my practice for when we did Cutthroat.
Oh crap! I've got to do it with Grave Clobber.
Oh, well, you're gonna lose Airstrike for me then.
We'll see. Maybe I'll pull off.
Well, hey, that's
clutch.
on Nightmare mode. So I did all my practice on Nightmare.
Oh no! Do I even want to know what that screaming was about?
Don't die! Don't die! Don't die! Don't die! Don't die! No! 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 I disconnected my mic there. All right, my earpiece is back in. Now I can hear you.
God, that's what I love about this series, Demigod's off doing his own gameplay, and then whilst he's screaming his lungs out, I have no fucking clue what he's going on about. It just creates so much dread for me, because I don't know whether he's lost a character, whether he's just doing insanely well in the gameplay, and I can't wait to watch it. It's for suspension of disbelief, not knowing what it is that creates such great excitement for me in the moment.
1 health!
Wow, 1 health.
1 health. That's all I need to say is I lived on 1.
That's impressive. I'm gonna grab that burger quick because it's a burger and it tends to be quite useful when you don't want to, die.
Alright, Ambush. So let's do this. Night Doomlander battle.
Don't get hit by a wrecking ball like I did several times in the Cutthroat.
Yeah, that would be bad.
That would be bad, that's why I'm pointing it out. Also, was getting the burger even worth it? Because I forgot that to get the burger I actually have to go down the hatch, and now I have to proceed to get the legendary selfie frame.
Well, hey, we're not going to be taking selfies in the series anyway. Except that one time we were required to, so...
Can you beat this game without taking selfies? No. No, yes. You cannot.
No, you can't. Fun fact, you actually can't... I was going to do a challenge video on it. You can't beat Pokemon Sword and Shield without taking any damage. But it's not for any reason that you think.
Why can't you go through it without taking damage then? Where is the necessary part where you have to take damage to proceed? Oh, come on, Wolfgang.
The first battle in the game, the first battle against your rival, Crash Rousel from Crash the Skylands, he has a Wooloo. And this Wooloo only has the move Tackle. And in Gen 8, Tackle has 100% accuracy. And you're not allowed to train up enough to instantly OHKO it yet because you have to do the battle right away. You're not allowed to train. You don't have access to Pokemon Home yet or the PC, so you couldn't even get a Ghost type if you wanted to try to avoid the Tackle. That's the only point in the game that I've found thus far that you're required to take damage, as against Crash Rousel and his Wooloo.
Okay, it's time to find out from this battle gong whether the whole diversion for that burger was worth it.
We're about to find out. And I just beat my Doomlander.
Oh, good on
Let's
you.
go ambush. Let's go ambush. Alright, let's see. I see he's entered focus mode.
Yep, this is my focus mode. Although, unfortunately, I haven't got a face cam, but believe me, focus mode is engage mode.
Focus mode has been enabled.
Ooh, more burgers up there.
Oh yes, and suppose it goes without saying that
Anyway, let's do it.
Senseis are stronger here.
Oh, I just cracked my knuckles and it felt so good.
That reminds me of Bugsy Malone. We actually had to do a little like play performance of that at my last year of primary school, which I believe you guys is elementary school. And basically, yeah, there was a character in it who always cracked their knuckles, so their nickname was Knuckles. And in that, I got to play a character called Babyface. Oh, he was so much fun to play. Mostly because he had some really awesome dialogue, and he got to break the fourth wall in it, so that was fun.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, I survived! I survived with
Yay.
394 health, so solid.
Don't you just love it when you're better at the game than me?
You see, what it was I was hacking. I hacked my PS4 to make the game slightly easier for me during that one specific Battleground section before we even started, you know, recording the series. 100% what happened right there.
I gotcha. I gotcha. I mean, I can't blame you. I lost many a grave clobber there, so.
Many a grave clubber.
I've
That
lost
just reminds
many
me
a
of
grave
Shakespearean
clobber.
language, which is actually where I first learned what the word hypocrite meant. From studying Shakespeare, because in Romeo and Juliet there's a character at the beginning who's like, don't kill each other or else I'll kill you. So of course he's being a hypocrite, and that's where I learned what the word hypocrite meant from my Shakespearean studies in English.
Well, you learn something new every day. Am I right?
Oh yeah, you're definitely alright. Except from days where you don't learn anything.
I am on the Guac Monster battle. I'm destroying arms right now. I'm going fast like our boy Sonic.
Sonic!
Ooh, can I get a ship repair, please?
Oh yeah, the Sonic movie actually, it came out at the same time as Birds of Prey. I'm not sure whether you've seen any of what went down between those two films, but basically, you know how the Sonic fan base is normally really, really bad?
Yes.
Well, this time, they were the victims, because all of the Birds of Prey fans were basically saying, before the Sonic movie even came out, that the film was racist, that it was homophobic, that it was throwing out all these insults, that it was offensive, that their kids absolutely should not watch it. If they were to take their 6-year-olds to see anything, it should be Birds of fucking Prey, with, you know, cursing
Harley
like a trucker.
Quinn.
Yeah, so there's cursing like a trucker, there is blood, there is, you know, the end where the main villain is literally blown up. Obi-Wan Kenobi is blown up.
I'm starting to get really annoyed here.
Yeah, I don't think that's appropriate for kids.
McGregor's the one that plays the main villain?
Yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi played the main villain in Birds of Prey, which, might I add, was an amazing movie. Whilst I do think it was better than the Sonic movie, I don't think people should take to Twitter raising lies about Sonic the Hedgehog just so that then it doesn't make any money, so Birds of Prey can make more money instead.
I haven't seen Birds of Prey yet. We have free
it's
red
very,
boxes.
very good.
We have since with my phone plan I have T-Mobile, so we get like, this is not an ad by the way. This is just
Not
I died.
sponsored.
Anyway. It's alright. I'm on the final stage of the battle. It's not that big a deal. We have T-Mobile Tuesdays, and what it'll do is every Tuesday we'll get like special things, and this week we got free red boxes. So we were gonna get Birds of Prey on Redbox, and we were gonna watch it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Something
So-
to distract you
Like I say, it's a good movie. I think it's one of the better DC ones. It's the
Well,
whole
compared to
film is
Justice
kind of like
League-
an expression of Harley Quinn's personality because it's told out of order and kind of like chaotic, just like her character, so to say. So with it being told through her personality, it just makes the film awfully stylistic and unique. So, you know, I
Margot
appreciate
Robbie
the fact
did
that
a
the
great
director
job
had
as
a
Harley
vision
Quinn
for
in
the
Suicide
film.
Squad.
What was that?
Margot Robbie did a great job with Harley Quinn in Suicide
Oh,
Squad.
absolutely. But hey, whilst Demigod isn't sponsored by his mobile network thing, Bob, I'm sponsored. I'm sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. I'm not
for real?
actually. I just thought I'd make a haha funny moment.
Haha, funny.
Okay, Guac monster time.
Raid Shadow Legends is a massive meme for that, so.
Remember, it was the most ambitious RPG title to date, with over so many downloads. I've seen this sponsorship so many times. You think I'd know like all the statistics by now?
It's a lot. It's a lot of downloads, and it's on a lot of people's channels.
Yeah, I mean, like Chris Stuckman, who reviews movies and does a very good job with it, mind you. Even he's been sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, you know, a film channel about films has been sponsored by a mobile game.
Ooh.
It wouldn't surprise me if Crash for Skylanders had been offered a sponsorship with Raid, to be honest.
I would believe it. Crash would probably sell out for it.
Oh god. Okay, let's take out this guacamole monster, which is just making me more hungry for my dinner. Which I need to cook for things I do out of goodness of my heart for myself, because my heart kind of needs the food.
Right.
Shooting those salsa bats causes a big explosion that may damage the guacamole monster if he's near.
Oh god, I love the sheer and utter ignorance of physics in this franchise. It's so hilarious how cartoony it is. Oh god, I love it.
I mean, it can be.
It does not care about physics
Sometimes
in
bad.
the slightest, and because of that, it is a cartoon.
Tough now, are you, Guacky?
That's how I look at it. And it just makes Skylanders more fun. Imagine if Skylanders was gritty and realistic.
Imagine if Skylanders was The Last of Us.
God. Yeah, but then we'd only get one game every 7 years.
And we'd have to buy each episode. I don't know how The Last of Us works. That's just how most
Um,
stories work.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
episodes, but they also have chapters. So, you know, you'd have to buy every chapter as a different figurine. You know, you'd have to get Ellie for the first chapter, Joel for the second.
Ah, gotcha. Because that's one of the things that I like about Detroit is you just get the whole game. You don't have to buy each individual episode like you do in other story-based games like Life is Strange, for example. I haven't played it yet, but I'm going to.
Yeah,
Although I
Last of
actually
Us 2,
probably
you
play it
obviously
before
get
the
the whole
series comes
game,
out.
but I will not be surprised if they make DLC. And this thing is going to happen 100% without a shadow of a doubt. Last of Us Part 2 is definitely getting a remaster on the PlayStation 5, 100%. There is no way that's
Wow.
not happening. If that doesn't happen, then I wouldn't be surprised to start seeing pigs flying outside my window.
If The Last of Us Part 2 doesn't get a remaster on the PS5, we're getting a Skylanders sequel.
Yeah, I'm willing to place that bet.
Or a Skylanders remaster or something.
I love the fact that us Skylanders fans got so desperate, we're just like, we really want something! Just anything! Just give us something, please!
Because didn't Ring of Heroes fall flat and then wasn't it going to get like completely remade from the ground up and then that didn't happen?
I don't know.
That's what I've been told by Gabe, was that we were going to get, was that Ring of Heroes was going to get, it was going to get restarted from the beginning.
Yeah, well, like I say, I don't know. All I know is that there has been no support for the game as of late, no events. Of course, they still accept microtransactions, you know, they still take your sweet money away from you, but, when it comes to the events and just general support of the game, it's just non-existent at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to admit, the events ended off on a high note because the event artwork on the last event we had Igniter in it, so clearly, you know, they ended it off on a good note. Oh. There goes the ship.
Yay, I'm not the only one that died on the segment. Anyway, at least we got Chop Chop and Ring of Heroes.
Yeah, we got that before the game was, you know, starting to decline. And then we also got Head Rush, which was a very strange choice. And Blaster Mind, which was an even stranger choice.
I don't know why everyone hates Head Rush. She's actually good.
Well, she's better than Blaster Mind, I'll give her that much. In fact, she's better than a lot of characters, so I'm not going to disagree with you there.
Them's the facts. She's actually good, though.
The thing with the other Earth Trackmaster Warlock is that, sure, he's fun because he's so broken, but his attacks are so boring, they're just all hammer-based, there's no variety. He feels quite uninspired as a Skylander, his design isn't all that great, he's just fun because he's a bit broken is all, that's really the only thing that there is to Warlock. Which makes Head Rush a little more interesting in my eyes.
He's the melee Drobot.
Yeah, exactly, you know, just hold for square button once again to win, but this time, rather than doing it from afar, you do it up close.
Wow! Revolutionary gameplay!
Why is that?
It's because it's not.
The guacamole monster has just reminded me of Mexican culture, because of course normally guacamole and salsa go with nachos, which I'm pretty sure is Mexican. But regardless, that has just reminded me of a masterpiece that is Coco.
That was a good movie. I liked
Coco.
I
love that movie.
Oh, Ignite! Ignite. I think I already told you this. I finally saw Onward.
Yeah, you did tell me this. I was so hyped because that movie is so underrated. Mid-tier Pixar, my ass.
I cried! I don't cry in movies.
Okay, here's the thing. I never cry in a movie theater unless it's completely empty. I saw an advanced screening of Onward in IMAX, so the theater was completely empty, so I just bawled my eyes out. The same thing happened for How to Train Your Dragon 3. The theater was empty when I first saw it, so I was just free to absolutely bawl my eyes out.
Bro. The only other time that I can remember crying in a movie is Toy Story 3.
Oh no, don't get me
when
started
Andy went to college.
I think I must have cried about 4 times in that movie.
When Andy went to college.
To be honest, I still can't believe there was even a first time.
And then Toy Story 4 happened.
Oh,
I like Toy Story 4, I've just got to admit it's the worst of the Toy Story franchise.
Yeah, it's... Why do they need to do a Toy Story 4 is the question.
I think they wanted to do something really special for Woody, you know, give him a really huge conclusion arc, and then just forget about the other characters. And basically, that's exactly what they did. Their purpose was fulfilled.
They didn't really need a big conclusion for Woody, because he'd kind of, you know, already gotten one.
Well, apparently they did. That's why they made the movie.
It was... I didn't like it.
Yeah, that's fair. I would ask you if How to Train Your Dragon 3 was better, but then I remembered, oh yeah, you're the disappointment that hasn't seen it yet.
Okay, you know what, Ignite? You've never played Pokemon, shut up.
Okay, that's fair. All I know is that Piranha Plant is clearly the best Pokemon.
Oh my god, were you there when we all fought Xbox Sun?
I might have been, I don't know, you're gonna have to be more specific on details.
Makes Plant Amiibo. Have you ever fought Makes Plant Amiibo, Xbox Sun?
Yes, I have. It was a bloody nightmare.
Yeah. I tried to make this is the second time, by the way, that I've tried to make an amiibo just to beat Xbox Sun, and I couldn't do it. I did a Bowser amiibo and a Donkey Kong amiibo.
Well, that would be why. You want the light characters, man. Well, not too light, you know, you didn't want to go Pichu, but you want a character with a small hitbox that's, you know, slightly heavier, not as easy to launch. What you want is an Olimar amiibo.
No, I want K. Rool, because K. Rool doesn't die.
That is also true. K. Rool and King DDD, they are like the heavies that don't die.
I'm gonna get a K. Rool amiibo. I'm gonna give him 4,000 defense and 0 attack, and he's just gonna not die.
Okay, that is something I would pay to see. But yeah, Piranha Plant, best Pokemon, and that's what we're gonna conclude this session with.
Haha, funny plant gang!
He's also the best character in Smash Brothers. Fight me. One-on-one, Final Destination, no items.
No items, Batman only, Final Destination.
Oh, it was so
anyways,
sad
yeah.
when Batman died in Endgame.
Shut up about the Batman dying in Endgame memes.
Yeah, that's just me. I'm literally like 2 years behind all of the memes. I'm pretty sure Batman dying in Endgame was a meme before the film even came out. Regardless, I will see you guys in the next episode that will kick off our new session on Demigod's channel. But until that moment arises, peace!